So our last lightning speaker is Tanuja, who is a product security engineer at Veracode with a background in DevOps, who says she's here to make threat modeling fast, fun, and actually doable with her talk, Threat Modeling in 5 minutes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tanuja Swaraj. I work as a product security engineer at Veracode. I'm going to talk about threat modeling in 5 minutes. Yes, it's possible. I know this title is pretty bold, but believe me, by the end of this talk, you'll all agree that it's doable. I started my career as a developer, writing code, fixing bugs, and trying not to break production on Fridays. Now I work as a product security engineer, helping teams design and build with security in mind. And I'll be honest, back when I was a developer, whenever I heard threat modeling, I was like, really? Do we have time for that? That sounds very slow, complicated, and probably involves too many whiteboards. So this is what I imagined when someone said threat modeling. Long meeting, crowded whiteboard, too many caffeines. And it looked heavy, academic, and far from real-world development. So like many developers, I quietly avoided it. Not because I did not believe in security, but I just didn't know how to fit it into the development. And here's the thing. So the threat modeling has a bit of reputation. It's supposed to help you build securely, but in practice, it often feels like a security ritual. And if you have ever seen a traditional threat modeling session, you know the setup. It's like tons of data flow diagrams and boxes showing the processes and the arrows showing data, and at least an hour of debate that where the trust boundary goes. So you end up with whiteboards full of lines and circles, but it's not really clear what's supposed to do next. And then, of course, the templates, software, big spreadsheets, and whatnot. And what's really the outcome? The outcome is maybe a 30-page document which shows a list of theoretical threats, but the developer has no idea what to do next with it. And probably the developer is just wondering, is it okay to still ship it tomorrow? Or maybe end of the week. But the thing which developers or even security people don't talk about much is the scope. A lot of pain comes from trying to model everything at once. Because it is not a 5-minute job. The entire threat modeling entire product, every API, every database, every trust boundary, it's like a research project. The trick is to zoom in. Pick one small, self-contained part of the system, a single feature or flow you can reason about. That's where a 5-minute threat model makes sense. So when I started looking for a way to make it faster, something any developer could do in context, without an overly long meeting or a PhD in data flow diagrams, scoping it down was the first key change. And that's where Stride Lite comes in. So fast forward a few years, I moved into product security. Now, I was the one asking teams, hey, did we threat model this? And I saw the same look I used to give, please don't make me do this expression. And that's when it clicked. Threat modeling doesn't have to be complicated. If you make it faster, lighter, and part of normal discussions, part of what developers are already doing, people will do it. And that's where Stride Lite comes in. A lightweight take on Microsoft's Stride framework based on Adam Shostak's 4-step approach, with one small tweak I have found very useful. So before we talk about frameworks or acronyms, let's start with something we all know, a file upload API. A user uploads a file, maybe an image, a PDF, or just a zip file, and it goes through the backend, and we store it in the cloud storage. Sounds simple, right? But anyone who has built this API upload knows that there is no more fun ways to breaking a file upload than anything else. I mean, files can be too large, or it can have like unexpected content, or it can have some wrong permissions. Anything can go wrong, basically. So, but this is the kind of feature that is quick quick threat modeling because it is very small, self-contained, and it is used everywhere. So we'll use this today to walk through how the 5-minute threat model works. Now, to make sense of what could go wrong, we'll use one of the simplest frameworks out there, which is Stride, Microsoft Stride. Now, Stride is a framework to help engineers think about different kinds of threats systematically. So the quick version, there are 6 buckets: spoofing, pretending to be someone else, tampering, modifying data or code. Repudiation is outright lying, I didn't do it. Information disclosure is leaking secrets. Denial of service, overloading the system. And elevation of privilege, get superpowers, which you are not supposed to. Now, the Stride feels very good, very organized, but it feels like a lot when you're trying to just code quickly. So that's where these 4 questions come in very handy. So the questions are, what are you building? What could go wrong? What are you doing about it? And did we do a good job? Now, here's the small tweak I mentioned before. I just find it useful when we ask the question as, what did you miss? So it's basically when we ask, did we do a good job, we are just judging. And when we are asking, what did you miss, it's just about being curious. It's not really blaming, but it's just being curious. So it's just a tiny wording change, but it changes the energy of the conversation completely. Now, let's just define for the file upload API, we are coming back to that. What is being built? Who can use it? What's being uploaded? Where does it go? Now, just clarifying these basic steps, everybody understands what is it we are actually protecting. Okay. Now we'll think about we'll use Stride as a guide to think about everything that can go wrong. A fake user token can be used. The file can be modified in transit. Somebody can do it and say, I did not do it. There could be a public file URL leaked. There can be hundreds of data just being uploaded, resulting in DOS, denial of service. Or there can be a normal user overwriting the admin file. Now, let's think about what do we have already in process. We have authentication, HTTPS, private storage, logging, file size limits, role checks. So you're simply lining up your protections with your risks. It's not a report, it's just awareness. Finally, my favorite step, what did you miss? This is where the real value of the conversation comes out. It's about curiosity, not blamed, as I said before. It's the moment where someone says, wait, what about this edge case? What about if it behaves differently under load? It's a simple question that opens the door for continuous improvement. You're not just checking boxes, you are checking your confidence and keeping space for surprises. That's really important. Now, I have found the best results when teams treat this as just another part of design or planning, not like a security ceremony. A quick checklist in a design doc, a short Slack thread, a note in a Jira ticket, no new tools, no special ceremony, just small yet very consistent. Now, here consistency is the key. Just thinking ahead. That's when threat modeling starts to feel natural. Now, here is what I keep in my mind. Threat modeling is not a ceremony. It's a conversation. Stride Lite makes it practical and quick. Starting early can help you move faster yet confidently. And do not aim for perfect. Just be aware and be consistent, because that's the key. Now, that is the cheat sheet I keep in handy. So the Stride model, which tells you everything about what could go wrong, with the 4 questions. What are you building? What could go wrong? What are you doing about it? And what did you miss? And that's it. Thread modeling in almost 5 minutes.
Very good, thank you. Any questions? We've got 2. I'll give you the mic and then I'll bring it down.
Absolutely fantastic talk. Very, very informative, and yep, it was great.
Thank you.
Is there any way to get the slides for future reference? Would that be possible, or is it a case if you wouldn't want to hand the slides out that you've shown today?
I don't have any issues handing over the slides, but I'm not sure how to.
Oh, right. Okay. No problem. Okay, thank you. But just great talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the method. Very quick and easy, and anyone could do it. Any developer. Thank you.
I love this talk as well. Thank you so much. Everyone hates threat modeling, especially whenever it's that whole team meeting. And I love this approach to putting it more in a feature. How then would you approach whenever you have a component of a larger system and you have to look at this new component in a more complex architecture diagram? Where you need to look at it in a bigger scope.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say, whenever we are doing like Jira stories, we do not create a Jira story for whole of the architecture. We just pick the smallest unit and then make a story. So think of it like that. Use it with every story you are working on. And with your peers, so of course the peer review is important, and it's not really doing alone. It's like you're doing with the team, but on every smallest feature. Because if you start working on the whole architecture together, then it just gets bulky again.
All right, fab. So thank you again.